Society has figured out that it's too hard to reprogram adults who already have a certain ideology. The solution for that is attack your kids. So what they do is they make you believe that the school system will teach your kids everything that they need to know to be successful in life. But what in fact is happening is they are teaching your kids their ideology, their beliefs, things that they want your children to know in order to fit the agenda that they have for your children's future. What is going on, everyone's? We are here and we are back with another episode of
Is My Point Valid?
Yes, indeed. And we want to thank everybody who continues to rock with us and continue to stay with us because we're going to be here.
Because we're going to be here?
We going to be here.
Right here.
But yeah, and make sure y'all stick around to the end because we have on this day at the end where we give away a fact about what's happening in something that happened in Black history on today. So stick around for that. But we're going to go ahead and get into this episode with What You Know Good. So what you got for him, baby?
Oh, man. I've been ready to tell this. It's first on my list. Okay.
Wow. It's first on the list.
All right. So this weekend, we celebrated my grandmother's 90th birthday.
Shout out to her.
And let me tell you, I had a great time. I am grateful to be a part of the family that I am a part of. I can tell you that I am grateful to just be a part of the family. So, like I'm not a part of it. Like, anyway. I am grateful, and I am grateful for the weekend, for the party, the shindig that was given in honor of her, especially to everyone who did the decorations, who put it all together. It was beautiful. It was very, very beautiful. And I am so grateful for that. All right, what next up on What You Know Good, I am still reading the 1619 Project, a new origin story by Nicole Hannah-Jones. And I am still reading on critical race theory, why it matters and why you should care, Victor Ray. I'm reading these. I didn't explain it last week, but I am reading these to get a better understanding about critical race theory, why it is in schools, what does it really mean? Because I've been given different definitions and it's not lining up for me. So what's the best way to get facts? Check it out yourself instead of listening to somebody else and all of that. So, and that's it for What You Know Good.
Alrighty then. Well, we're going to keep it on moving. And speaking of the critical race theory, that leads us right into our topic for today, which is going to be...
Our children are the target.
Yes, they are. And I'm going to tell you this. Society has figured out that it's too hard to reprogram adults who already have a certain ideology. So the solution for that is attack your kids. So what they do is they make you believe that the school system will teach your kids everything that they need to know to be successful in life. But what in fact is happening is they are teaching your kids their ideology, their beliefs, things that they want your children to know in order to fit the agenda that they have for your future children or your children's future.
Or just say indoctrination, right?
That is the big word for what I just said.
Yeah, that's the big word, indoctrination. And I know I see, because I watch a lot of YouTube, as I always say, and I see a lot of people come against that word and saying, well, let me rephrase that. I see a lot of people come against homeschool parents who say, well, you're still indoctrinating your child. Yes, I am.
With my beliefs.
With my beliefs, because
Absolutely.
this is either way, children are going to be indoctrinated some type of way.
They're influenced by someone somehow, but I would rather they be influenced by me and what I think.
Right. And that's what I was going to say. Indoctrination, I think, should fall under parental rights. The way that school, what we thought it was supposed to be set up is you're supposed to go to school for reading, writing, and arithmetic. And then you look at like these extras, counselors and therapists on campus, and they're going in and they're having children talk to them. And I could be wrong. I have not researched this, but I don't believe the child has to tell the parent that they're going to see the counselor. Like, it's confidentiality between the two.
Yeah. And another thing is, if your child decides to come out as whatever they want to come out as, the teacher is not obligated to tell the parent anything.
Right. Yes.
So they could be learning anything, and they're banking on parents not coming to PTA meetings, not coming to open house and all of these things.
Not even,
because then you don't know what the teacher of your child believes. You don't know what they look like. You don't know what they're teaching them, how they're teaching them. You don't know anything, but we get mad at the results of other influences over our children.
I think people are showing up to open house. Well, the first thing that you go to when you have to meet the teacher and everything. Because remember, when the girls
that's the first thing.
That's the first thing.
Yeah, we
would see all the parents, right? Because you're trying to see, oh, this teacher here, right? And I think the biggest thing that parents are not taking into effect, just because you go meet a teacher, that's different than looking at the curriculum that is set in the school. The curriculum is out there. And I had watched an interview, and she was saying that it was an interview with Callie Fontanilla. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her last name correctly, but we'll link that interview down in the description. The box. We'll link that. And she was just saying that she was giving her story, because she was a teacher in California for 15 years. And she was giving her story about how they're implanting racism into the California schools. And
that's another thing you got to worry about.
And they're using certain terms like critical race theory, right? You're thinking, oh, we're learning critically about race and how it has affected.
But it's all a play on words.
Right.
They use these fancy words to confuse you and keep you lost. So you think it's one thing when it's actually something else. But that's how they manipulate you. They know the words to use to have you believe in one thing.
Another one that she was talking about is called ethnic studies. And it's so crazy because I took a class last semester that was on interracial studies or something, right? But here's the thing, that we didn't learn about anything that was like really interracial. Our target, it was a Black professor, but our target audience was like learning about how Black people in today are oppressed. And I didn't get it like last semester. And then, like I'm saying, I'm reading all of these things, and she was just saying, Callie Fontanilla was saying, you have to look at the terms or the words that are being used, because they're going to change it. And she was also saying that's in California. So in Texas, it's going to be written up totally different with certain
they
keywords.
write it up to appeal to a certain demographic, a certain region of people.
Right. And she was also talking about how she came across it was during the pandemic when everybody was virtual. And then she was able to see lesson plans from was it a student teacher or another teacher who they shared some of the same classes. But that's how she saw that, oh, you're teaching critical race theory, you're teaching, because one of the activities was a privilege test. And so like, what the privilege test is, if you like, they're asking 10 questions, and I guess they go off of, I don't know what they go off of. I need to Google it and look for myself and what a privilege test is. But I can tell you, if you've seen those TikTok videos where you might have two siblings, and then the person behind the camera or the person with the voice is asking if you always had your phone bill paid your whole life and you never had to struggle, take a step forward. And then you see like,
all the white kids are at the front, and all the black kids, they tell all the white kids, well, look behind you and see who is initially oppressed or whatever.
And honestly, I didn't know. I didn't either. Right. But it still, I felt some type of way, because like, why are we
showcasing this?
Or why are we, what's the word I want to?
Glorifying? Not
glorifying, but like picking out people and trying to have and have somebody else look at you and be like, oh, like feel sorry for.
That's almost, that systematic oppression.
And I looked up the word systematic because I was looking up systematic racism, and y'all Google these words, because the definitions and like what
how they using them, it don't match up.
It doesn't make sense, and it's like, they
take two words and then put them together, and it's crazy.
How are you
anti-racist?
Okay. But so yeah, she was just saying they package the words in a different way. So children, I also think children are the target because they are not fully developed. Their minds are not fully developed. I don't even think at 18 your mind is fully
just developed. Look at all the people, the people that are 18 right now doing stupid stuff.
Like, I don't think that even at 18. So if you take a 5-year-old who is trying to learn their ABCs, and you're saying, hey, you're black, you're oppressed.
Yeah.
But your friend right here, they're
privileged.
White, he has white privilege.
Yeah.
And so y'all can't be friends because he's over you. And then for the rest of your life, you're thinking that's a bad person right there. And we've been taught that.
And it's not just black people teaching us this.
Exactly. Like that's what she was saying. The interviewer with Callie Fontanilla, he was also saying, but this is white people teaching it, and they're not saying anything. And she made a good point, and she was saying some teachers do not want to. They want to speak up, but this is their livelihood.
Absolutely.
This is how they make money.
It's just like basketball players. They don't want to mess up their money to go against the program.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
They shut up and go with this flow. And go with the program. Yeah.
And it's
that's how teachers are too. But there are some teachers who are bucking the system, and that's why you have to worry about on not on the positive side, but you have to worry about two different things in schools. You have to worry about the system teaching your kids something, and then you have to worry about the teacher and their ideology and what they're teaching your child as well. Because I remember seeing a story on, I think it was a TikTok, where the lady was, she had took down the American flag and put the rainbow flag. Mm-hmm. And then the child was like, well, I want to pledge to the American flag. Where's that at? Mm-hmm. So she was like, all right, I'll see if I can find it. And then she was like, I have no intentions of putting that back up. But she has all these representations of her lifestyle in the classroom. I don't see how that's fair when the country is not even represented in the classroom. So you have to worry about it from not only the system, which is
and can I
crazy
say
itself.
Something on that really quickly? Because you said, okay, so that teacher did that, and I think it was a lot more than one teacher.
Absolutely.
But look at how no parents aren't intervening in that, or at least I don't know, or I didn't see any article about a teacher going. I'm not a teacher.
Not that specific instance. Yeah.
About a parent going in and saying, "Hey, I don't feel like this is. Why are we not flying the flag?" But we gave Colin Kaepernick a hard time for kneeing.
The double standard.
It's like, come on. So it's interesting.
But there are parents out there bucking the system, because I also read or seen the story where they were doing a lot of integrating the books of that community, and a lot of the parents were seeing what were in these books, that a lot of this stuff is sexual. A lot of this stuff actually is direct
pornography. It is pornography.
Absolutely.
Why does a kindergarten?
Why do they need to know these things? And then the teacher was also saying at lunchtime they talk about sexual preference and gender, and why do we need to talk about this with 5, 6, 7, 8, even 13-year-olds?
Look here, I was in high school when Superhead's book came out, and if you don't know
Lord
who
have mercy,
Superhead is Karen Steffan.
OG ho.
She was talking about all the celebrities and all of that. So I remember one of my classmates, she had the book. And at the time, like, I'm going to be honest, I was reading Eric Jerome Dickey. I'm 14. I had no business reading Eric Jerome Dickey or Zane. Like, I had no business seeing reading erotica like that. But I remember sitting in class and we were passing that book around trying to get,
I rubbed on your leg.
Trying to get, not no leg, but,
I'm just being nice.
Trying to get information. And it's like, but you're not supposed to be reading this, right? So that was just on our own. But now you have teachers promoting it, because I'm pretty sure we're passing it around, not showing the cover, because we knew if the teacher caught,
absolutely,
you
got it
trouble.
Inside of a newspaper.
we were gonna get in trouble. But now, and
it's okay.
Now it's okay, and then because of the criticism when the banning of the books was happening. At the time, I didn't know what was happening. I didn't even look into it. I was like, why are they taking children's books out? Like, just children. But I didn't look, y'all. I am becoming aware. I'm not going to say woke or awakened. I am becoming aware of what is happening.
Conscious
and how it is happening. So when I saw that, these banned books were because of it showing things that
don't need to be shown to children,
that elementary children should not be seeing. And so you see that that image, and then you want to try that image, and if it's showing 2 women or 2 men and you're interested, hey, I saw this in a book, let's try this out. Because children are curious.
And then speaking of that, showing children representation, I also read an article about how sexual ed did more harm than good within schools.
Okay. I got excited.
Yeah. So it's like you're exposing kids to this stuff, so it's really not helping them. It's making them more curious about what it is, how they can do it.
There was an interview of this woman had worked for Planned Parenthood. I don't know if we're all over the place. I think all our stuff is making sense, right? But there was a woman.
Your children are the target.
Children are the target. But she worked at Planned Parenthood, and Planned Parenthood would go into schools and talk to children about how to use contraceptive. This is how you're going to do it. And she said she went into one classroom, and she said, this is how Planned Parenthood works. They don't ever tell you don't have to. And that day, somebody asked her a question, and she said, you don't have to do this, right? And the children were like,
what?
Nobody's ever told me that. And so there was one girl, she was saying,
you almost feel obligated.
Feel obligated because somebody's coming into your classroom or into your school and telling you, hey, this is how you use this. This is how you're going to protect yourself. You go out into the world and you do it.
So the solution is not, even back then, the solution was not don't have sex.
Right.
It's have sex.
Have sex, but use protection.
Use protection.
And you know,
and then worst case scenario, kill that Mickey Ficky.
And majority of the time, a child is not going to use protection because nobody can just go buy condoms. Is it 18?
I believe it is.
Is there an age limit on buying condoms?
No, because they had them little things in the bathrooms where you can put the quarters in there. You remember them?
No.
Man, they used to have. Oh, you too young. They used to have little machines in the bathroom. You like they used to have the cigarette machines and stuff like that. You put it was like 75 cents. You put it in there and they'll give you a condom.
Wow.
In bathrooms, in public bathrooms. Yeah. Yeah. Even in places like back in the day, like arenas and stuff like that. Yeah, they'd be in there too. Yeah. Gas station bathrooms, all that.
Yeah. So
you can buy you some condoms. You don't even need an ID.
I just thought her story was interesting. I'll find that and we'll link that one too because it's just interesting. And then, but it was like nobody is telling these children no, you don't have to. Like, it's okay that you don't have to, right? And it's
no, you don't have to, right?
And people talk about peer pressure. Oh, they're going to be pressured from their peers. But these people, if you're coming from Planned Parenthood, if you have a teacher, that's not your peer.
No, that's not your peer. That is I don't know what that would be called. But they have more influence over you than your peers.
Yeah. Vody Bacham.
Vody Bacham.
He said,
oh boy, called him Vody Bachman.
He did. I was tripping.
I thought I was tripping. I had to go look at his name again. Anyway, proceed.
Yeah, he did. But Vody Bacham was saying that with children are dumb. Not dumb like
they are.
Dumb.
Yeah.
But you're learning from another child. So you keep wondering, well, why are they still acting childish, right? Because that's who, and you classify them all together and they have to grow together.
It's a process.
Some do mature a little more, but it's still childish. And he was just saying children need adult guidance. Like the
children should not be leading parents.
Children should not be leading children.
And children should not be leading children. We need parents. We need responsible parents leading our children because they are our future.
What Whitney say? I believe the children are our future.
You gotta teach them something, and you can't teach them nothing if you don't know nothing yourself. So, goodness,
read these books,
man. Even if you don't read, even if you're illiterate, go on YouTube. Just type in the stuff. You can find the information that's out there.
There's a lot of documentaries.
There's no more excuses for not having information, especially when it comes to your children.
You can look on YouTube. There's Tubi. There's, I don't know if Freevee does documentaries. Pluto TV is free. Like, there are free platforms that have documentaries that are really interesting documentaries.
Absolutely.
And it's like, wow.
And they give you some truth to your life.
Some truth. And then that's when you just go in and you research some more. So, it's just all about researching what the school districts are saying, what the education department, the U.S. education department is saying, because even that is not run by professionals in teaching. That is run by random people business people in the government.
It's all about the shmoney.
It's not a teacher running this. Like, even when we were watching, I had talked about this documentary the other week. It was called Waiting for Superman, and that superintendent in that documentary, she had never even worked with children. She wasn't a teacher. She was, but she knew that them kids weren't learning nothing.
I'm trying to tell you. It don't take a rocket scientist.
So she was like, they're not going to learn anything.
Straight up.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, they're not learning anything because of how it's set up.
Yeah.
And so it's just easy to target because their brains have not developed.
Absolutely.
And it's easy to be indoctrined when you're...
Stop throwing your kids out there to the wolves. They ain't got no armor. You got all the armor. Protect your children, please. Mm-hmm. They are at war with people that they have no defense against.
And you can't send them out because they don't know how to defend them. They don't know how to defend them. They might know all Bible, Jesus, and everything.
Man, they still ain't got the proper armor.
We are the protection.
Absolutely. So protect your children. It's our responsibility. They're our kids. They're not the school system kids. They're not the government's kids. They were ours. So protect your children.
Yep.
And with that being said, we're going to keep it on moving with On This Day in Black History. So today is November the 14th. So November the 14th in 1960, Ruby Bridges was the first black child to desegregate an all-white school in Nowlands, Louisiana. So shout out to Ruby Bridges. She is obviously very what's the word I'm looking for?
Is she very instrumental in the school system and how it has been changed? No? Okay.
We can say that. That could be true.
She was a target.
Absolutely.
She was really.
Was that the little girl, that movie?
Yes.
Oh, I remember that. Yes.
Yes.
So shout out to her.
She went through it. She went through some trauma.
Man,
think about
her daddy went through it. Her mama, her whole family went through it.
As a child, that's a big responsibility.
Yeah. They was calling all kind of stuff. That white woman was that man. Yeah. And then the kids started playing with each other at the end. But that's nor here nor there. But
was that critical race theory?
Absolutely. Hey, man. Once again, y'all stick with us because next week we are coming back with another episode on Monday. So y'all be there because we will be here. Straight up. Now, we're gonna see y'all next week. We out of here. Love, peace, and soul.
Bye.
Like Soul Train, baby. Cheers.